Hey guys, so if you saw my video about how I cracked an aquarium I was taking down, you kind of saw a little teaser for this video right here. And basically today I went ahead and picked up the Fluval Evo 13.5 gallon aquarium. I was at a local fish store that's it's about an hour away from me, and I went ahead and I bought this tank. I bought some live rock. I already had the sand. I bought the sand from online from petco.com, super cheap for that. I already had the heater, and I'm basically going to be replacing my Fluval Evo 5 gallon tank with this. I also went ahead and picked up another saltwater fish that's currently acclimating to my 5 gallon tank. It's I think bicolored dotty back. I didn't know this because I was told it was like a Royal Gamma or something like that, but it's actually a bicolored dotty back, which is supposed to be a super aggressive fish. So we're going to kind of see how this guy plays out. He is going to be pretty aggressive, I was told. So my clownfish and damsel, they're also kind of aggressive. So I'm just going to kind of have to see what goes down. I'm really hoping this guy's more timid than he let on. But anyway, besides that, the fish will go into this tank later. We're just going to go ahead and start by moving the live rock and junk out of the way and unboxing the tank to show you kind of what's included. Alright, so I'm going to start off by just opening the box. Like so. We'll go ahead and remove this first. This is going to be our lid and our light. We'll go ahead and check that out in a minute. We have some instructions, some paperwork right here. And then here is going to be our pump and, let's see, the pump, the power supply, whatever's in this box, I don't know yet. Whole bunch of little small items in here. And we have our actual tank and the filter media. I'll go ahead and remove that from the box. And here is the aquarium out of the packaging. It's a really nice rimless aquarium design. Got some like silicone stuff right here. Go ahead and peel this off. But it's a really nice rimless aquarium design that is fully prepared for saltwater. It has a built-in sump thing back here, which I'll show you in a bit. Sorry about the reflection, by the way. We'll go ahead and get over that in a minute. So I went ahead and removed everything that was in the back of the filtration on this tank. So now we have just the glass tank. And then this is a little thingy that goes on the intake so it can be more of a surface skimmer. I'll go ahead and install that in a minute. Then we have our little filtration sponge with some Biomax, some biological material, and then some carbon right here. Pretty basic. But there we go with that. That will go in the filter. Then we also got our output assembly and our output pipe right there, which I'll go ahead and show you how to install when we get our pump out. We'll go ahead and open this tape mess first. So first off, in this small white box, we have the power supply for the light right here. This is the hood for the aquarium that goes over the filtration compartment right here. So this part covers the filter, and then the main hood and light cover the rest of the aquarium. Has a whole bunch of cutouts for cords and protein skimmers and stuff like that. But here is the pump right here. Pretty basic pump. Our hose will go right on here. And also to note, there is a little piece of foam right here. So if you are losing power and your flows are pretty weak, go ahead and clean out this foam piece. You should be doing a lot better. Here is that LED light. Here is that touch sensitive on off button right here. Pretty nice light. See how it stands the test of time, see how it does. But it looks like a pretty solid LED light. And then we have the cord right here that will plug into our power supply. And here is the hood of the aquarium. So we'll go ahead and pull the aquarium over like so. That is how the hood will go, and the smaller hood will go over the other side. But I'm going to go ahead and start setting up the filtration. So now we're going to go ahead and just install the stock filtration on the aquarium. We're going to start off by removing these two bags from the block of foam. Go ahead and take these out of their plastic wrap and rinse them under tap water. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and place them back into the foam and slide the foam and the media that's in it down back here. So once you have your foam down back in there, we can go ahead and do the output. So we're going to start off by taking this elbow piece right here and this short piece of tubing it includes. Just going to go ahead and put these on. So once it's on, we're going to go ahead and take the other end of it and do the exact same thing onto the end of the pump. So once you have this whole setup right here, we're going to go ahead and slide our pump into the chamber down here. So we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to put it in the far pump chamber like so and push it all the way down. Once the pump is all the way down there, we're going to go ahead and take our little return assembly and by holding this little output valve right here on one side, where you're going to screw the output into it like so. So this is our filtration all set up, except for the little weir gate right here. This is super simple. We're just gonna go ahead and snap this in like so, and you can slide it up and down, and what that will do is create a better surface skimming. So it will surface skim off the top of the water a little bit better. And lastly, to complete the setup of the filtration, we're just gonna go ahead and slide the heater down here and where the pump is, and this is gonna be our heater chamber. If you wanted to, you could place a protein skimmer in this chamber, the first one. I'm not, I'm just gonna stay with the stock foam. And here I'm gonna put the media from my other Fluval Evo to instantly cycle the aquarium. Now that our filtration's set up, let's go ahead and set up the lighting and then get some stuff in this tank. To install the lighting, it's pretty simple. This hood will go over the filtration in the back. And then with the large hood right here, basically we're going to take the end of the light right here. This is the power outlet of the light right here. We're going to take this and we're going to thread it through the hole on the Fluval Evo hood like so. And we're going to pull this all the way through until the light nestles into its spot. Once you are at the end of the line, it will literally just go like that and snap into place. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And then here is your feeding hole, and then here's the touch on and off for the light. So here is how the aquarium looks. This is with the normal lighting. Then we can go ahead and tap the top and it'll change to the blue, and then off, then back on. So now let's go ahead and fill it up with some salt water, and then we'll go ahead and do the sand and live rock. It's a bit later. We have the sand and live rock and filtration. Basically everything set up. The heater's in there. Now all we have left to do is go ahead and put in the little clarifier packet that came with the live sand, because it did cloud up the water. So that's what this stuff is for. Go ahead and squeeze that in there, and that's supposed to just help the water clean up really fast, like so. Now let's go ahead and check out some of the fish and stuff that's going to be living in this tank. In a few days, once the filter is kind of cycled, then I bring that fish tank filter media over. It should be a pretty quick cycle because I do have live rock, live sand, and a whole bunch of filter media. Well, let's go ahead and check out the other tank. Here's my mess of a Fluval Evo 5-gallon tank. In here we have some live rock, 2 corals which aren't doing so good, a snail, and then some hermit crabs and 3 fish. This fish is in the cage because he's new and he can be a little bit aggressive, I've heard. So he's just in there before I can move them to their 13-gallon tank with the clownfish, the damsel, and then that guy, the bi-colored dotty back, I believe, something like that. And then the other little coral and junk. So my plan is to move the inverts over first, kind of let them cycle the tank for, you know, a day or so, then bring all this filter media that's back in the Evo. This whole thing is a big sponge. Take all that out, put that in the new Evo, and then just move the fish and coral over. So we're going to go ahead and let the tank clear up, and then we'll go ahead and move the inverts over. Okay. It's a bit later since that last clip. It's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. But in those 2 weeks, not only did the tank clear up, it actually cleared up really, really fast. As you can see, it's crystal clear right now. We'll get some closer up footage in a minute. As you can see, here's the tank, really, really clear. Filter did a great job. But I actually ended up adding over my invertebrate, which is basically my 3 hermit crabs, which 2 of them are down in this corner. You can't see them. I don't know where the other one is. And, oh, the other one's on top of the rock right there. And then my turbo snail. The turbo snail, I don't think I acclimated for long enough, so he's kind of catching up. He's been catching up over the past week. You know, just kind of getting used to the new tank. I'm hoping he'll rally. But my turbo snail, I don't know about him. I don't think I acclimated him for long enough, like I said. He's having some weird issues with not being as active as he was in the old tank, but we'll see if he comes around. Anyway, I went ahead and got my water tested, and everything checked out great. Ammonia 0, nitrite 0, nitrate was like 4 or 5. It was really, really low. And he said that when my live sand kind of kicks in, my nitrate should, you know, start processing. We'll kind of see how that works. We'll see what turns out. I have a test kit, but it's for fresh water. So I'm probably just going to either get a saltwater one or just keep using the freshwater one. I've heard you can use the freshwater one to test for things like ammonia and saltwater. You just use a little different card that like tells you what levels equal what. Anyway, the water tested out just fine. Salinity's at 1.024. So we're going to go ahead and add our first fish into this tank. It's going to be the damsel I have. So let's go ahead and net the damsel out and start acclimating him into this tank. So I just cut the damsel out of the tank. basically my acclimation process. I'm going to go ahead and let him float for 15 minutes to get acclimated to the temperature. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a half a cup of tank water every 20 minutes to his bag. I'm going to do that about 2 times, and then I'll go ahead and release him into the tank. If you have more delicate fish, I'd recommend doing the little small acclimation. Do it like a quarter cup of water every 15 minutes for maybe 4 times. But, it's really up to you. I like to spend around 30 minutes to an hour acclimating on saltwater fish. So I'm going to probably spend like 40, 45, 50 minutes on this guy. We'll just see kind of how he goes. If he gets really stressed out, I'll try to get him into the tank sooner. But normally damsels and clownfish, stuff like that, does fine with acclimation. But anyway, we'll be back probably tomorrow when he's in the tank. I'm going to leave the light off for tonight, and then we'll kick back on in the morning. And we'll go ahead and check him out tomorrow. I changed my mind. It's not tomorrow. It's about a month since that last clip. And here is basically the completed Fluval Evo. There's tons of algae in it, and that's because I haven't done a water change in quite a while, actually about a week. And I do have all 3 fish in here. I don't know if I talked about it, but I was planning on getting a black clownfish to put in this tank. That never ended up happening because it was just super hard for them to get into the store. So I just have these 3 fish, my clownfish, my bicolor dottyback, and then the damsel right up there. Also, the 2 corals, they're not doing good as they were not in the other tank. I'm still working with my local fish store to kind of get that figured out. There's also a few hermit crabs in there, just like before. But that is basically the completed tank. Tons of algae, like I mentioned. I changed the filter a little bit. Let me open it up back here. I basically added a little thing of filter floss right there, as well as a whole bunch of old media from the other aquarium. But that is the completed saltwater aquarium. I will probably add 1 more fish, or maybe some coral down the road when I get everything figured out. But all my original fish in here are still alive and doing good. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.